I'm first Emily Pryor, but I'm playing Talia. And I am a hypnosist with a very interesting idea for a book. And then I discover something great, and I need to know the answers. So I find the answers, and fun things happen.
My name is Lydia Lael, and I'm one of the victims in this movie.
Hi, I'm Scarlet Storm, and I'll get raped.
Hi, I'm Smurfsaur, also get raped.
My name is Susie Lorraine, and I play Melpomene in Bill Zebub's latest opus.
What is it like the first time working with BILL ZEBUB? Well, it's been pretty great and weird all at the same time. You're in this little apartment area, and you have all this equipment that needs to be moved around, and the equipment falls on the talent, me, which is fine, because I'm just sitting there. I can have a boom mic fall on me, and everything's great.
So Bill had a new actress for this movie who he auditioned. It was her first time filming with him, so of course he was nervous about making a good impression. Oh, look at you caring. So he was like, Lydia, he's like, I'm bringing a trained actress to you, like a trained actress, like very professional. So don't make fun of me. Don't tell him I have a small penis. Don't tell him I'm professional. Don't say anything about my penis. Specifically Lydia, he made sure. It's like, Lydia, do not tell her about my micro penis. He's like, she can't know. It's a secret. So he made sure that would promise. So I kept that promise. I did not talk about the micro penis. But the thing about Bill is that it's impossible to not like poke fun at him when like, so many things that he does are just like a setup for a good joke. And I did hold my tongue. I wasn't like mean. I didn't get like vulgar or anything. But there was like a few instances where like Bill just did something so Bill, and I'm just like, it's a Bill ZEBUB thing. And so I got him a few times, and I know he said not to, but I mean, I had to kind of meet halfway. So I didn't talk about the micro penis. I didn't talk about any of the other weird shit that I can totally talk about to embarrass him, put him on the spot and be weird. But I did definitely throw a few little jabs in there in front of the trained actress. But she thought it was funny. I think it broke the ice a little bit. So Bill can thank me for that.
Every now and then, you just could tell she was dying to throw out an insult. And every now and then, she would. And then I just hear from the other room, don't insult me in front of the new talent. And this little boy just doesn't want to be insulted. So then I had to join in on the insulting. And then it just kept piling.
Funniest part of this whole, Lydia, I'm having a trained actress come over. Make sure you're professional. Don't make fun of me. Trained actress. So you know what the first thing he does to this trained actress's first impression ever? When she gets here and he has to go to the door, he falls all the way down the stairs. Like, and then answers the door. Like, I'm not the one making a weird impression.
What were my thoughts on kissing Bill Zebub's character in the movie? Well, the thought still traumatizes me a little bit. I had to buy a couple cases of mouthwash after to get rid of the lingering odor. And, but I took one for the team, and all for the sake of art. I did these things for you. And, I thought, Bill's like, we're only going to have to do this in one take. It'll be really quick. And then we ended up doing it like four times, I think. Yeah, so that happened. But all in the name of art. Certainly done worse.
What do I use as an actress to be in a sex scene with Bill ZEBUB? Mostly apathy and my loss of the will to live.
I think Bill ZEBUB likes when I make fun of him because he asked me to do it so much. Aww. But, no, I think he's just, that's why it's in the script. It's like, I'm just gonna, hey, so we have to make out. It's part of my film. It's totally necessary for your character that we have to make out. But then I can't imagine, like, anyone ever making out with him like that, like, in real life, because it's also just, like, child's play, like, even the gropey, like, all the, like, you would think that he's just trying to creep. There's no way. There's no way Bill's being creepy, because if he was really trying to creep, I feel like he'd actually, like, No, it's never, like, actually, it's always, like, it's like a 5-year-old boy playing with their little trains, like, ooh, the choo-choo goes in the tunnel, choo-choo! Like, I picture that's what Sex with Bill must be like, oh, the choo-choo train going in the tunnel, oh, it's going in the tunnel, coo-coo, like, done in 2 seconds. That's exactly what I picture, because literally all the foreplay on camera, all the kissing, all the fake sex, it's always, like, super, like, your nipple, it's so childish, like, literally, I'm gonna buy you, like, a train character set or something, I don't know. It's ridiculous. Boop.
Wait, hold on. It's kind of like this.
Oh yeah. Like when
Like, has that guy ever even touched a boob before? Come on.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, most of the time Bill is the worst because he's so awkward about it, and like the way he gropes is like, it's weird, and he's like, I'm gonna touch your pee-pee. I'm touching your pee-pee. I don't know why vagina's a pee-pee, but did I get off on a tangent? That wasn't the question, was it? Oops.
1, 2, 3. Oh no!
You're Bill's above.
I'm okay. Hey girl, I'm gonna grope you now. I'm gonna give you the groping real good.
Gotta boob me.
The way Beelzebub carries himself, he is very self-deprecating, which I quite enjoy. I'm not one of those floofy, I'm so optimistic about my life, everything's great and wonderful, and the world is unicorns and butterflies. I like to have crude humor and make fun of people. So the fact that he would make fun of himself to begin with, I was like, cool, we can connect on this weird level of weirdness. That's fun. So then I was like, okay, I'm okay with all of this that is happening. And then as just like, he kept making fun of himself, I was like, you know, in the real world, artists hate themselves. So this guy must be an artist because he really hates himself, apparently.
If you think Bill Zebub has any action with any of the cast members, let me give you a reality check. He does, but only with the dudes. So, like, if you're into that, I don't know, give him a call.
Likes pee-pee in the butthole.
Only in the butthole.
Only in his butthole.
Mm-hmm.
Only real pee-pees.
It's kind of gaping like this. Like, sometimes he uses his butthole to actually hold the tripod and then puts the camera, like, in there. So his butt's just in the air with this big tripod and the camera, and that's how he gets all those, like, really cool angles.
I heard that's how he opened the pickle jar for our pickles earlier today. Just with the butthole. And then, like, clamped down on it. And then just, like, did one of these maneuvers and untwisted it.
So every time Bill Zebub starts filming, he says, action in your asshole. And it's really because that's just what he's into, and that's what he wants, and that's, like, a secret way of, like, just putting it out there. Action in your asshole.
He's had me be his hands on camera because it's kind of funny if like a dude's like approaching and suddenly the hands come on screen. It's like manicured lady hands. Like that is hilarious. That's how you know he's in it for the real movies. Because I'm like, only Bill would put aside an opportunity to actually grab boobs. Like you have a chance here to grab some hot girl's tits. You're like, no. You do it because it would be so funny if it's like supposed to be my hands, but it's lady hands. Like. Only a real, like, hardcore director would go that far for a joke and sacrifice one of the few chances he's gonna get to actually touch tits. That's dedication to craft right there.
So in the film, I'm showing a bit of skin. And I read about it and I was just like, oh, okay. This is fine. I'm showing skin. I'm kind of used to it. I used to do that a lot when I was younger. I used to get yelled at. I would change and they'd be like, you're not legal. You can't change. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I just want to take my clothes off. So I was kind of excited and was like, okay, I'll take my clothes off. This is fine. And, you know, I came in and then I'm told I'm going to be in this little lingerie outfit. And I get this garter and thong and these little stockings. And I brought like a bra to hopefully match. And I was like, oh, I hope I'm not bloated today. Because God knows I won't fit into it. But I just put it on. And then I was comfortable as all hell could be. Because I had already made fun of Beelzebub at this point. So it really wasn't as daunting as like one would think. I also couldn't wait to get my clothes off. It's very hot.
So when Bill had first sent the script to me, he indicated that the role of Melpomene did require nudity. And I have nothing against it for other people, but for myself, I just didn't want to do it. I haven't done it since 2002. So anyway, I explained that to Bill, and I told him that I totally understood if it were a deal breaker, and he thought about it, and we were able to amend the script a bit so that I was still totally comfortable with the character and the dress. And she still obviously is in sexy outfits, but we came to agreement, and I'm glad that we did.
On paper, it looks really gnarly and sounds kind of scary, and then when you do the scenes, it's not really any of that, and there's a lot of sound effects involved.
Sound effects.
And it's really silly, and it doesn't really take that long, and none of it's serious, and everybody's friends, so it's fun.
Oh, yeah, the cat's ruined a lot of shots. By ruined, I mean made awesome by me being all scared or mid-rape, and the cat's just chilling. So what cats to do if you're really getting raped, a cat would be like, oh, what up? Hey. And also would attack random things. I think now she's going after strands of the wig. She's not having it. She's like, no, you gotta pay me extra to be on film. I didn't sign up for this.
Even when there's no audio being recorded at all, Bill Zebub still has these sound effects that he makes, especially while boobing and nuzzling and doing the humpy motions, and they're hilarious, and it's hard to keep a straight face while this is all happening.
So hard.
It's really bad.
They're so funny.
Some of the strangest things that happened today would definitely be Bill's mask falling on my face. It would be my cat awkwardly walking onto the bed when I'm supposed to be getting raped and stuff. That's weird because the cat's just head boop. I'm supposed to be horrified. He's don't. He's ignore the cat. But it's my cat, and my cat's give me the head boop. He's love me, mom. And I'm shh, not now. Mommy's getting raped. The cats don't get it. So that was weird. The Santa mask was weird. I mean, yeah, it was pretty easy to actually. That was the most eventful things. It wasn't I got hit in the head with a puppet or something. Bill, no boom mics fell on me today, so no surprise Muppet dicks.
At one point, something that made me die laughing, and I almost died, was Bill's bub was boobing my nipples, but then he just snorted it. And I was what the fuck?
Oh, I remember. Okay, so when Bill Zebub is dressed as Santa Claus and he comes in for the simulated rape, he says something about the dick of the North.
Well, on the day that Emily filmed, I was actually just here working because I wasn't actually on set that day filming. I was just letting them use the space. So I stayed in my room and did work on my latex stuff, and I was making a cat suit while they were making God knows what kind of weirdness in there. But it was funny, going back and forth. I was close my door, and so 3 hours in here, open the door, and Bill was just as an elf. Close the door, open again. Now he's Pope Santa. Close the door, open it again. Now he's stuck in one costume to another, asking me to take pictures and stuff. My girl's looking horrified at every moment. So it's different when you're there for the whole shoot. It's another story when you're seeing bits and pieces, trying to put together what's happening between these pieces. But I almost don't want to know. I'd rather see it in the movie and see oh, that's what I was missing. That's what you did on my couch.
It was a lot different filming here in a live space in a real environment than in just a studio. Because not only is the sound around where you don't have control over it, we don't have control over how far the walls are, or the ceiling is away from. So you kind of have to play with the sound on that, and you're constantly getting outside noise. Whereas in a studio, you have the controls over where the sound is exactly coming from, and you don't hear the outside noise. And usually in a studio, there's air conditioning, and so you're not sweating, and you don't feel like you're gonna die. But that's not the case in the real world at all. Sometimes you have to deal with a fan and just hope and pray.
So here's some classic Bill Zebub for you. So we're filming 100-degree weather, and even with the AC going on full blast and us having to break it in between shots, it's still hot as balls in here. And part of his costume is a massive glue to his face. Now, glue is temperature sensitive. We all know that because we have brains in our heads, right? We know that glue dries differently when it's hot, when it's cold. We know this, right? We know this. Bill Bear doesn't know this. So he fucked up the timing with his mask, and so it did not stick to his face, and we're trying to get this done. So he's climbing over me, all oh, I'm Santa, I'm gonna rape you, and I'm oh no, I'm scared. I'm trying to act and shit. And his fucking mask comes unglued from his face and just falls on me. And I'm sitting there with hot face on my chest. I did not sign up for this. That was not in my script. you will have hot face on your chest because Beelzebub cannot glue. Let that happen. Of course that would happen. I'm looking at it on his face, and I'm like, I got a thought. I'm like, I'm feeling this face is gonna detach from him and fall on me. Like 3 seconds later, plop.
So Beelzebub had to wear a few more layers than he wanted. And in these lovely costumes that he was wearing, he had them over his other clothes because God knows we can't take off our clothes before we put others on. So not only was he just so excited to be wearing these costumes to begin with, but then he had extra clothes on, and so there wasn't any way for him to survive, and he was just dying. And we're like, all right, let's film, let's keep going. And he's just like, I'm dying. And it was pretty great. He got very quiet. You knew something was wrong because he was quiet. Chatterbox was off.
What are some ways in which Beelzebub is an asshole? Let me count the ways. Let's see. First of all, his car that he drove me around in to get to the different set locations looks like a serial killer's car. It has blood stains, at least that's what I would assume they are. They could be all kinds of bodily fluids for all I know. The trash was so deep, I actually lost stuff in there and didn't even realize it was gone. And like huge stuff, like big bag full of stuff, it got lost and buried. I thought it was eaten by the small creatures that lived in his car. So that was interesting. And then let's see what else. Oh yeah, deciding that it made sense to shoot 25 pages of dialogue in one day, and then saying, Susie, I just don't understand why this is taking you so long. So that right there would definitely make Bill different than other directors, and perhaps maybe other directors might take 25 pages of dialogue and say, let's shoot that over, 4 days, reasonable. Or, and he also gave me the script, the finalized version, 2 days before our shoot, and I said, Bill, I'm not sure I can memorize this all. It's quite verbose. It's a beautiful script, but there's a lot of words, a lot of dialogue to learn. And he's like, don't even worry about it. You'll memorize on set. Don't even bother.
I definitely think I have bragging rights as an actress. Because not only did I find this and do this process all on my own, first off, but I had to do 25 pages of script. We did it in under 8 hours. And there were times where I memorized more than what Beelzebub anticipated. And so we recorded more. And all of a sudden I was like, no, I already did those lines. You already got them. He was like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm just that good.
So is Beelzebub encouraging or punishing as a director? Well, I'd have to say a little bit of both. So he punishes because he'll say, what is wrong with you? Why can't you get this? And it'll be like monologues, like, 3 pages long. And, you're like, I just got this 2 days ago. I'm trying the best I can. He's like, what is your problem? I have brand new actresses who can do this like twice as fast as you. So that was a little rough.
Yeah, so it is funny when anyone who knows Beelzebub, it's like the closer you are to Beelzebub, the meaner you are to him. I think that's kind of like the mark of friendship is be like, Beelzebub, that motherfucker, yeah, he's a stupid fucking piece of shit. He's legit, he is a piece, like a turd. He's a piece of human poo-poo. He's poo-poo. Poo-poo. You know what? I don't know why, because he calls vaginas a pee-pee. He calls them a pee-pee. That's why he's a poo-poo, because he calls a pussy. Pussy. You can say pussy. Pussy. A pee-pee. Even though you don't even pee from where you get, it's like a different, I could draw you, I think Bill needs me to draw him a diagram of, here's your lady parts. Here's your labia majora. Here's your clitoris. Here's, the hole where you put your man pee-pee. Here's the other hole where the lady actually pee-pees her pee-pee. There's 2 different holes in the thing. It's a science.
Let's see, other ways in which Beelzebub is an asshole. We never quite made it to the Bonefish Grill because we ended up shooting so late. He had promised me this lavish, spectacular dinner fit for a queen. And we never quite got there because we were stuck filming until the wee hours of the night. But it was all worth it, and we did have fun, and I really hope that you enjoy the finished product.
So it wasn't treated as just, I'm being paid to say lines and look pretty. I kind of had, my interpretation of the lines and of the character. They were taken to an account, and I felt like I was treated like an equal, which was really nice. Where in most cases, you're just paid and you have to say these lines and wear these clothes and you have no opinions, and that's what your job is. But here, I got to choose all my outfits. I got to choose my shoes. I like choosing my shoes. And, I got to have a say in how I wanted to say the lines. He would just be like, be stern. But then I got to choose how stern I was going to be and what my facial expressions were going to be. I like facial expressions. I don't like being told how to use them.
But see, how is he encouraging? He was encouraging because he encouraged me to drink 5-hour energy in order to gain the momentum to go through the rigorous amount of script that we had to get through. And he did, I think he asked me to do crystal meth before we shot, or was it after? I can't quite recall. So that was like, depending on your perspective, that can be encouraging or discouraging.
Weird things about filming this movie. Really, the weirdest thing I can really think of is just the environment around. Not specifically filming, but just the fact that there are constantly cars and motorcycles and people screaming and blaring music out the window. Like, there's a hunk right there. Beautiful. And so you have to work around that. And there are times where you're simply trying to film one sentence and it takes 5 minutes because everyone has to constantly make noise outside the apartment. So that was kind of weird. But it made it interesting.
So what is Bill Zebub's directing style like? It is very, very eclectic and unusual, stealth and rogue, and weird, all rolled into one. He's definitely easy to work with and laid back and receptive to the actors' ideas and interpretations, which is awesome because I think if you can feel comfortable in your role and your performance and with the crew, then you deliver a better performance. I think one of the things that was notable about Bill's directing is every time that the actor completed a scene that he liked, he would say, I am such a great director. So he would pat himself on the back for every take that the actor did correctly. So that was fun. And let's see what else. Oh, so I had about 25 pages of dialogue that we shot in one day. And I didn't get the finalized script until 2 days before we shot. So if you think the acting is terrible, it's not my fault.
Is Bill Zebub accident prone? That's an understatement. Bill Zebub is a walking accident. I'm surprised he didn't show up with all the crutches. Speaking of walking accident, so I ran into Bill Zebub at a show recently, but I ran into him and I literally ran into him at the show. I saw him outside flyering and I was like, oh, it's Bill, I'll go say hi. And I was trying to sneak up behind him and tackle him. But I didn't mean to tackle him. I meant to kind of be like a guy, oh, buddy! Grr! But I was drunk, and so I kind of launched at his legs from behind and kind of wrapped around his legs and then sent him going just down. And I guess I split his knee or something really bad. Now he limps all funny, and I guess that's thanks to me. Sorry, not sorry. But I contributed to that one. But before all of that, I'm saying the reason I told that story is because it's very typical. Because if you're not the one injuring Bill Zebub, he's going to injure himself. So you might as well just tackle him to the floor and save him the effort of tackling himself to the floor and tripping up the stairs. It's better to push him down the stairs. Less embarrassing that way than him tripping over literally ghosts and nothingness. Because he'll set up his own equipment and it's okay, Bill, you put this there. You know this boom mic is there. He will still trip over every time he goes by it. And he put it there. He put it there.
Is Beelzebub accident prone? Are you kidding? Of course. He has like the scars to prove it. Constantly. He's always wiping out. He tripped over equipment. I almost got knocked in the head with like mics and cameras. He almost lost his main camera that we were shooting on due to different follies.
I was very quick to laugh at Beelzebub for wiping out. Partly because he did, he gave fair warning. Oh, I'm probably going to fall today. Oh, bye-bye, light. Oh, no. Anyways, you can still see me. I'm fine. Partly because he gave us fair warning that, I'm probably going to fall at some point throughout the day. So then when the first trip happened, I just kind of giggled. And then it just continued to happen. So I was like, okay, well, now I'm just going to laugh at your ass because you're dumb.
Being recognized for Beelzebub movies is kind of funny because they end up like everywhere, like on Netflix and in movie stores, and like it'll be at random. Like I'll get a random text from somebody like, "Is this you on the cover of some like Nazi cannibal movie?" And I'm like, maybe. Who's asking? Where'd you get it? Do you want me to sign it? Like, it's always really weird. I'll get random emails from people that are like, "Oh, I've seen all your movies," and I'm like, "You have?" Or they'll like review it and they're like reviewing me as an actress, and I'm like, what? Like, people take it like super seriously, and it comes like in the most random, like I get through email, through Facebook, Instagram DMs, like it comes in the most like random ways, and it's always like mad appreciated. But like I'm always surprised when I get approached or mentioned for Beelzebub stuff, or people like see it on Netflix and they're like, they see me credited, like, wait a second, wait, is that the same Lydia at the? And I'm like, yep. Yeah, that's me. Or people actually like know who Beelzebub actually has some credit in like the metal scene. I gotta give him some, like, people know who he is, probably from just being an idiot for so long that like you have to notice him. I don't know his actual credit or if he just is known because he never goes away. It's very similar. It's hard to tell. It's like, are you famous or are you infamous? Like, are you like a celebrity or are you just there and you're not dead yet? Like, I'm not quite sure. But it's funny where like people that are like old school metalheads that maybe haven't seen anything new, but they know from like the old like metal shit. I mentioned Beelzebub, like, wait, like Beelzebub? I'm like, yeah, and they're like, wait, no way! Like, I had this movie like 10 years ago, and like it's like this weird like long connection. I'm like, yeah, it's Bill, whatever. Like I remember actually, did it die? Oh, I remember hanging out with a friend, and like a lot of times because Bill talks on the phone for long periods of time, like hours. Like he, like a call could be like, "Hey, Lydia, do you want to roll?" "Yes, I do." "Okay, bye, Bill. Bye." No. If I'm gonna actually like respond to, if I'm gonna answer the phone, I'm gonna be there for like 3 fucking hours. It's a commitment. So sometimes, like if I'm busy, if I'm out, I can't. Like I know that if I answer the phone, I can't get him off the phone. I can't make him shut up. So I can't answer the phone. I literally can't. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm really not. There's just never 3 hours. But one time, my friend saw the phone ring. He's like, "Is Bill Zebub calling you?" Like, started fangirling, like, oh my God, like, that's Bill's. I'm like, yeah, he calls me all the time. They're like, the Bill Zebub calls you, like, all the time? I'm like, yeah, he probably just bothered me for some like role in a movie. I'll call him back later. I don't feel like talking for 3 hours right now. They're like, oh my God, no, you gotta answer it. It's like Bill Zebub. And I'm like, okay. Hey, Bill, what's this person's over there, like, oh my God. And I'm just like, yeah. Making some jokes, and just like I'm also busting his balls too, but it's just whatever. It's Bill's Bill, But these people that like haven't worked with him and they only know like through one movie from forever ago, and they either know of the character or they just like think he's some like super fancy celebrity. Oh, you're going to be so disappointed. I'm awful. Oh, it's great though. He loves it. But that was the most funny phone call ever because the whole time Bill didn't realize that like there's like a person right there in the room like freaking the fuck out. And we're just talking to a normal thing. I'm trying to get him off the phone. This person's like.
So the process for getting this part was I did an interview with Beelzebub at a Starbucks. And he said, "Oh, if I'm talking with someone, interrupt. It's fine. I'll just be the long-haired guy in a black t-shirt. Probably sitting on my laptop." So I get to the Starbucks, and I was there early, mind you, and he was talking with someone. Well, little Miss Me can't interrupt, so I sat awkwardly away from them for probably about 15 minutes till I see someone else interrupt. Then I decided to join. So then there's a little group of us there, and it's kind of like, okay, how is this interview thing gonna work? Shut up out there. What is he gonna interview me about? We just sat and chit-chatted. He chatted a lot about what the movie was, which was great, because I had no flippin' idea. So I'm talking to this long-haired, Jesus-looking man while my friends are waiting for me because I was like, oh, this will only take like 15 minutes. Well, an hour later, my friends had left me, but it was fine because I was quite enjoying our conversation. There were like 5 of us all chit-chatting and everything. And then we like just read some random poem for him. And that was about it. And then he just emailed later and I was like, oh, that wasn't that bad. My friends were very concerned as to what I was getting myself into, and I kind of was at the same time, but I was intrigued more than I was concerned.
I thought it was really interesting and different and intriguing, and I liked just the different elements of your typical Bill Zebub movie mixed in with, you know, the more intellectual side of things and more cerebral. And
How did I get in this movie? Easy. Bill Zebub was filming a movie, and I go, hey, Bill, you filming a movie? I'm in it, right? Okay, cool, thanks.
So the character was described to me during the whole interview, and so I knew like what she was about and whatnot, but I didn't really know what she says or any scenes or anything. And then I actually got the sides. It was just pages of different sides and all these crazy things that this character says and does. And I was like, okay, I can kind of understand where this film might be coming from based upon just what my character alone is saying and doing. And I thought it was very entertaining to read some of these lines to my roommates. They didn't like him very much, so they should come see the film. They'll love it.
did I like my experience filming? And is there anything I would change? Yeah, I would have shot over 5 days instead of 1, to be sure. But other than that, like, seriously, no, we had a really good time. We had a lot of laughs. We had a nice sunny day to frolic with the reindeer in the graveyard. We didn't get harassed by security in the graveyard, although they were pretty interested in whatever the hell they thought we were doing. That was a plus. Yeah, so I would do it again.
Well, if you like boobs and butts and metal, and weird horror movies that might be really kind of disturbing but kind of fun at the same time, then this might be for you.
So my first time filming with Bill Zebub was for Ant Farm Dick Hole and Rap Sucks, and that was like 6 years ago now. Like, I remember he was definitely, like, he was trying harder to impress me and not, like, reveal that he was a total clumsy piece of shit. But I still remember him tripping over everything and then, like, asking the girls that were, like, he was using their house, having them help as much as possible so that he didn't have to embarrass himself. Like, they did the silly stringing. They did the spider humping because every time he would try something himself, he'd fumble because he was all nervous and a total mess. I just thought it was just because he was doing a lot and he was stressed out. And, you know, it's a lot of work because he's running the sound, he's doing the filming. It is technically a lot of work. But you know, since there is no one else to help, and we can't really help, we'll just watch him fumble around because it's funny. But it was about the same. I just didn't realize it was classic Bill Zebub. I just thought he was just like having a rough day and trying to do a lot of things at once. I'm like, oh no, this is just how it is. Gotcha.